Hello and welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder, heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. I do apologize for the small delay on this video. I just got back from vacation, and so there's just not really been any time for me to record it, but here we are. We are back, and today we're going to be delving back into the land of post-hardcore and examining a band that's kind of been an underdog in the scene. Yet their output and touring cycles have been somewhat impressive. They've released 4 albums, have toured in support of Korn's Jonathan Davis, and are out on the road supporting Alesana right now. Yes, it's New Jersey outfit Palisades, and their new one, Reaching Hypercritical, released July 22nd on Rise Records. Now, Rise has become known as something of a sturdy beacon in the metalcore / alternative metal universe. One of their artists, Memphis Mayfire, put out an album earlier this year that's currently in contention for my personal album of the year. Can Palisades rep the label just as well? Let's go ahead and find out. For starters, this record is not going to be anything different than really your standard post-hardcore fare. However, there aren't many standard post-hardcore projects out there that pack this much pure emotion into the album. A lot of it stems from frontman and bassist Brandon Elgar's excellent vocals. His emotive resonance carries throughout the entirety of the record, and it benefits things in every way. I especially have to give props to his performance on the track Without You. The pure, untethered response from vocal to note is absolute and encapsulates everything the song has to offer. But good vocals are not all the album has to offer. The overall mix and production is top-notch. Nothing overpowers anything else, and all are allowed to have their proverbial moment in the sun. The crispness and clarity might be off-putting to fans of more extreme forms of metal, but those who grew up with more quote-quote emo bands like My Chemical Romance or early 30 Seconds to Mars should appreciate this. Heck, I'd even say that fans of modern metalcore production will appreciate this, especially if they're fans of bands with an ear toward the melodic and slick. Again, Memphis Mayfire or Crown the Empire. Songwriting-wise, Palisades don't exactly reinvent the wheel here. That's not really a bad thing, though. After the ho-hum, somewhat anthemic writing from Census Fail in our previous review, Palisades offer an album that actually sort of commits a little more to the bombastic and the massive. Elgar's vocals are supported by the twin guitars of Xavier Adamas and Matthew Marshall, both of whom offer an excellent backing track. As with our previous review, the playing on here is nowhere near virtuosic. However, it provides a very deep soundscape for Elgar to explore by running up and down the various bars and staffs. Drummer Aaron Rosa holds things all together with a very solid drumming performance. As good as all this is, there are a couple of down points on this record. One of them is the song Sick of the Attitude, which switches up the previous approach for a more traditional post-hardcore, kind of heavier one. Now, the song isn't the worst I've ever heard, and it does retain a little bit of the melodicism of the record, but as with some of the other albums we've been through, it just feels like it kind of grinds the record to a halt a little bit. What had been 7 tracks of terrific, catchy, and emotionally and sonically sound songs are suddenly turned into hate-breed light, if I can put it that way. Thankfully, they end the record with a few more tunes that kind of return to the previous way. Something that some might count as another negative on here would be sort of repetitious songwriting. As good as it is, there's not much variety on here, aside from the aforementioned hate-breed light track. But for me, it's not boring. If the songs were written in a dull, lazy, uninspired way, and if the production values weren't as crisp, then I could see how it might be seen as a downside. However, when you have the aesthetic and all the sonics wrapped up in as tight of a package as it is on here, you get something very solid. All in all, Palisades have released an album of post-hardcore and emo stuff that I'd be much more likely to turn to over Census Fail's effort from last week. It's sharp, produced well, has a distinct eye for the melodic and anthemic, and allows its participants to breathe and show their stuff. Will it set the world alight? Probably not. But one thing's for sure, it's definitely in contention for my top 10 album of the year list at the end of the year. Reaching Hypercritical by Palisades gets a very strong 4.5 out of 5. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and click like, smash that subscribe button for more weekly Metallic reviews. And next week, we're going to be shifting gears pretty dadgum drastically. We're going to be heading down the rabbit hole of death metal to examine Chris Ian's new album, Mortem Solis. I hope you join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music. I'll see you all next time.